Welcome to the Naked Mama podcast, where to be truly naked is to be eternally committed to stripping away the layers, illuminating the truth within, and emerging as the woman, the mother that you are destined to become. To be truly naked is to be truly you. I am your host, Angel Rockwell, intuitive motherhood coach, transformational mentor, and bold believer in turning the impossible into reality. I am a mama, a wife, a revolutionary entrepreneur, and a visionary for creating a legacy of abundance and fulfillment inside of motherhood. My mission here with the Naked Mama podcast is to debunk the myths of motherhood that disconnect you from your power as a mother and as a woman, and to reconnect you back to the sanctity and magic of the mother-child bond that ultimately is the key to uncovering the ease, freedom, and confidence that you desire and, truth be told, are meant to experience. I'm going to be sharing pieces of my transformational journey along with purely sourced intuitive guidance so that you can begin to see what's possible for you. Know that you are not alone and begin to take action, building momentum towards living the life that you know deep down you are meant to live. The Naked Mama podcast is here to break down the myths of motherhood that are holding you back. Each episode is designed to be a powerful conversation to raise the consciousness of women through motherhood. Each episode holds the power for you to shift into alignment, gain deeper clarity, and expand your awareness. My commitment to you is to show up authentically and be naked with you. The journey here inside the Naked Mama podcast is the journey of evolution and expansion into deeper levels of fulfillment, freedom, and ease. Here inside these episodes, we connect and ground, nourish ourselves, grow, and rise together. I am so excited to welcome you into the world of the Naked Mama. Now, if you're wanting extra love and more support in between episodes, please follow me on Instagram at @TheRealAngelRockwell. Now, let's dive right into today's episode. Hello, beautiful mamas of the world. How are you today? What exists here in this space, what I have received and what I'm channeling through is a deep dive into a pool of delectable deliciousness. I said in last week's episode, I have never been more excited to be here with you, and I feel that way again this week. I have a sneaky suspicion that every week is going to be that way. So just before we dive into today's episode, I want to extend a massively open-hearted, deeply rooted thank you to each and every single one of you for showing up here, for being here in this space with me, for bearing witness to and integrating into the vibes, into the truth, and into the experience here available and always ready for you in the Naked Mama podcast experience. Today, we are going to dive deep into the disentanglement of identification with the false self. What you will take away from our conversation today is clarity. Clarity in space, clarity in mind, clarity in thoughts, clarity in being. The myth that we're going to be disintegrating today is this is just the way it is. We are going to allow that myth to release. Don't even think about it anymore. Let it pass through you. Let it be. We move with this process of disentanglement to the truth that you are the powerful creator. Taking a look today at the expansive use of certainty in the realms of truth versus resistance, I invite you today to join me in the intention of being open. Place one hand on your heart. Place one hand on your belly. Exhale all of your air out. Releasing resistance. Sipping in through the nose. Breathing in. Part the lips. Exhale. Breathing out. Simple, beautiful, clarifying breath. Again, sip in through the nose. Deep breath in. Part the lips. Exhale. Settle into openness. The vibe today, mamas, is creation. In this intention of openness, I invite you to get comfortable. Take this time with this sound in your ears to make yourself comfortable through breath, through motion in your body, through curating your physical environment, whatever you need to do, whatever you want and desire to do. Please do that for yourself now. Give yourself the gift of setting yourself up to be beautifully open to receive the gems inside of this conversation for you. Trust with ultimate certainty that you are here for a reason, because there are gems inside of this conversation. There are vibrations you are meant to receive. There is truth that you are meant to hear. There is truth that is intrinsically yours, that is meant for you right here, right now, in this moment. It always feels so good to be here in this space with you. Okay. I'm going to touch on this just for a brief moment. As we said earlier, allow the myth just to disappear. The certainty behind this is just the way it is. And when I say those words, there's probably things that come up for you already, maybe consciously in thought and maybe just vibrationally in feeling. I was having a conversation with my husband the other day where we were delightfully allowing ourselves to laugh and smile at how life never seems to go as we planned. We always have a plan. We always make a plan. We get inspired and motivated to create the plan. And the plan gets us somewhere, gets us to a moment when the universe beautifully delivers to us that that's not what's going to happen. And in that conversation, something became very clear to me, which has been part of the calling to share all of this conversation with you now, that we can get so certain and so fixed in the plan. I created this plan for a reason. There was purpose behind this plan. My passion is in this plan. I have to stick to the plan. And along that way, we become numb and unaware of so many beautiful shifts and ebbs and flows and opportunities to enjoy that which is here. And it allowed me to see very clearly the importance of the plan for the soul fulfilling reason. That the plans that we make are a very integral part of the process in getting us to the moments. And then we get to those moments, and often we get stuck in the myth of this is just the way it is. This is what I had intended. This is what I wanted. I'm going to stick with it. And then we miss the moment entirely. But if we can step into now where we're going and the truth that you are the powerful creator, and there is an alternate certainty that is easy and smooth and beautiful and simple. The world that you know will begin to transform magnificently into the world that you desire, and the world that you know deep, deep down in you is yours. I have lived the life I have lived the state of being of forceful certainty. And in this forceful certainty of me saying, this is the way that it is. I've created it. This is mine. I own it. This is just the way it is. This is how it's always been. This is how it's always going to be. This is it. I have lived that life. And I'm sure you have experienced and can relate as well that this certainty does not allow room for expansion. It does not allow room for freedom. It does not allow room for growth. This forceful certainty is one of the most powerful limitations, and it is one, in my experience with myself, in the work with my clients, and in everything that I see, feel, and receive from this universe. This is one of the most limiting pieces of human existence. And as mothers, I see so often the grasping onto this certainty, the desperation for this certainty, the need to hold on to it. Because without it, if there is no certainty, then what do I have? So let's try this on. If I didn't have this certainty, what certainty is possible? And looking at how this certainty feels. So often we become so certain of that which is. And that keeps us in looking so acutely at what's right in front of us. Like the tip of our nose close, just so close. We see it. We're certain about it. We know it to be true. And because we're looking so acutely at it, we are unable to recognize that we created this. We have shaped this. We are continuing to cultivate the environment in which this will always be true unless we choose to look somewhere else. So where we're looking today, we're looking towards certainty of truth over the certainty of resistance. Now, my certainty, and when I say certainty in this specific context, in this moment right now, I'm speaking to my certainty about the way things were, and that they were the way that I didn't want things to be. It was all the proof that, see, I have this mountain of past proof that will show you when I do this, this is what I get. And I was unable to get outside of that hamster wheel. I would convince myself that I was trying something different. It would be a different program or listening to a different inspirational leader. It didn't matter. I would do all the things. Say, see, I'm doing this thing differently, but I'm still ending up with the same result. And in the grandest context, this is where we're going. I keep trying everything. And look, I'm still here, right where I don't want to be. So it became this, well, it didn't become, it always was. I became aware of what this cycle is. The certainty. Ooh, I'm certain, I'm motivated, I'm fired up, I'm powered up, I'm air quoting here, in the zone. I felt like I was in the zone. And I was certain this is what I'm meant to be doing. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is how I'm supposed to be showing up. I would be certain. And then I would come back to the point of doubt, lack of certainty, where the certainty would disintegrate. And I'd say, well, the results aren't in the way I want them to be. The results aren't in at all. I'm trying so hard. And what I want still isn't showing up. The certainty would disintegrate. And this was in everything, from my relationships, from careers, from building business, everything. And how this shows up deeply in motherhood is it's so deeply rooted and so conditioned. So I'm following the intuitive hit here to take a deep breath. So please join me because this is deep. I said we're going deep into a disentanglement dive today, and it's real. So before we breathe, just wiggle your fingers, roll your shoulders, shake out some of this old, stale energy that we all share as mothers. Just let that go. One hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Breathe out. Deep breath in. Breathing in fresh truth. Part the lips, exhale. Relax, surrender in. Again, deep breath in. Part the lips, exhale. Relax, surrender, let it be. Again, one final breath here. Sip in through the nose. Part the lips, exhale. Open, open, open. Now, with this disintegration of certainty, without getting into a lot of details and a million and one stories that, of course, we could all share, if it disintegrates, it's not certain. Going deep here into real, true certainty, like the laws of the universe, universal truth, that which is certain does not disintegrate with the introduction of circumstantial doubt. That is not certainty. I perceived it to be that way for a long time, and I'm speaking about it honestly here because I know that you are too. And it's okay. We are in this together. Within the disintegration of certainty, as we've perceived it to be, we begin to disentangle the identification with the false self. And the false self being, you could look at it as, the ego, the thinking mind. There are many different ways people relate to this. The false self simply being a creation of you that you have created for your own self protection and survival. And that may look differently for other people. So be very mindful here to stay with yourself. This is not going to look and feel the same way for everybody. So the next time, and maybe it's even here in this moment right now, that you find yourself disintegrating in certainty, thinking, oh my God, I was so sure this was the right thing to do. And it wasn't. The certainty's gone. The doubt is here. I was wrong. This was bad. I shouldn't have done this. Allow yourself to breathe and shift into this space of real certainty. Instead of looking at it and saying, my certainty's gone, this was wrong, we say, okay, that wasn't certainty, because certainty doesn't really disintegrate. So once the smoke settles, once the dust clears, and the fake certainty, that false identification with a self that isn't deeply, truly the essence of you, then we can root into certainty of truth because it's deeper. So often we just continue the cycle. And I did that for years. And you will have your moment when you will recognize, your eyes will widen, your jaw will drop, and you will say, holy shit, this is the moment. This is the moment. Angel said, maybe you've heard this from other people as well. You will have your moment where the dust will clear, where the smoke will clear, and you will see the cycle that you have been in. You will see how you have been identifying with a false self that you created, and you will land deeply into the truth of you, that you are the powerful creator. I had a moment probably about 1 year ago now, almost to the date exactly, where I was in a healing session, and this vision came to me of a rock dropping into the water. And it was very clear to me in this moment that I was the rock, and the rock crested through the water, and then it didn't just sink right down. It wasn't a direct path. It was this kind of lulling, like left to right, dropping a little more deeply every time, swinging motion, which I've never dropped a rock into any water in a way that looked like this, but it became so clear. And it was if that rock were to be my body, it was an out of rock body experience where I was witnessing this from the outside of just this beautiful swaying motion. And then as I was continuing to speak through this healing session, I couldn't even try to fathom what was being spoken about. The rock then landed softly, beautifully on the wet earth beneath, in that little poof of, the little bits of dirt kind of puff up, and it's just soft and easy. And in that moment of landing, I knew that I had landed in a new depth with self. I I did a couple like pastel and like chalk drawings about it, and I actually found a rock on the beach a couple of months later that was perfect. I felt it was so intricately connected to the feeling in that vision, and that little rock lives in my rock and gem collection here now. When I pull it out, I feel that grounded rootedness. Now, whether you've had an experience like this in connectivity or feeling or visualization, feel into the vibe that is offered here to you through me in this opportunity to go deeper, to crest the surface, to shift into waters that maybe even seem scary. It's also funny within that context, and this is something that I hadn't planned to share, but my goodness, I'm feeling so called to just speak these words to you now. For my whole life, I have, long as I can remember, disliked deep water. We live here in Kelowna, BC. We have a gorgeous lake here. Just being in any like dark open water has always been unsettling to me. After this vision, after this feeling, I my ability to be in the water, to be soft and certain and comfortable, was an immediate shift. It was mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. So wherever you land on this spectrum, if you're just enjoying listening to me and thinking that this sounds great for you, but you don't know how I am because that's not how it is for me, I invite you to come back to this episode, this conversation again, as to where we began, that this is just the way it is. This is a myth. It is not true. You can choose it for yourself, but it is not a universal truth, and it is not rooted in certainty. So being in this space now, as a mother, to speak this to you, to open up this conversation, and again, continue to open every word that you hear, every feeling that you have, open, open, open. Where now do we find ourselves? If you have found yourself in this space here with me right now, where I trust that you are safe, I have you, I hold you, I see you. If you feel this disintegration happening now, if you feel your mind going into these places of, oh my God, it's falling apart. Everything that I thought was real isn't real. I don't know where to go, what's up, what's down. You are safe. It is okay. You are okay. And you will be more than okay. To allow, I'm going to say fake, to allow the fake certainty to release, to disappear, to shed from our being, to trust that what's underneath is true and solid, strong, open, comfortable, caring, true. You open yourself up to root into the universal truth that you are a powerful creator in the space that I created this. I can create anything. As true as it is for me that I can create magnificence, you can too. This is a universal truth. And inside of motherhood, this is so powerful and so crucial to be operating through a sense of being in truth, certainty, to detach from the false sense of self. We connect into the source flow, the essence of life, that which fuels and grows and expands and evolves everything. I often say to women in my world who do not have children in this world that you are a mother. Women hold the power of creation, and some mothers choose to bring their creation forth in a physical human form. Some mothers choose to bring their creation forth in non-flesh forms, still tangible. The power of creation that women hold is what makes a woman a mother. And there are so many different conditions, different structures and frameworks, and all kinds of just BS narratives that have led us here to this point. This specific point in time, right here, right now, is the most powerful point in human existence ever. And as a mother, you are this creation. This is you. This is your power. And as a last little thought here, when you look out at the world, you see things being created. And you have a choice on how to look at this creation. You can find, you can be willing to see your part in its creation, or you can default and rely back on the false certainty that identifies with a false self, that keeps the same cycles and the same patterns going. Now, I know because you're here, and I know because I am here, that there is a massive momentum building of mothers who understand their power, who don't just want to live in a world anymore where we say, I want to create a better world for my children. A movement of women, a movement of mothers who are claiming, who are staking their lives and their purpose and every fiber of their being in the truth that we are the creation of the world for our children. This isn't something that we want later. We are in it, and we are doing it now. And it takes showing up every day to see yourself, to be with yourself, and to recognize that anything that feels off, not good, out of alignment, that's not the truth of who you are. We get to choose to root in every single moment to that certainty. The truth of a more beautiful world, the truth of fulfillment for our children, the truth of freedom and alive and vibrancy and every gorgeous thing that we want for our children. We claim that first for ourselves. It is the only way that we can hold that certainty for our children. Big, juicy conversation today. Trust as we wrap up this conversation today that this dive into the disentanglement of identification with the false self, the process has begun. Allow yourself to be in this conversation. There's nothing to do. There's nothing you need to think or try. Just take a few breaths here with me right now. Close your eyes. One hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Breathe out. Sip in through the nose. Pure, powerful creation. Exhale, part the lips. Indulge in the beauty of your creation. Sip in through the nose. Truth that you always have the power. Exhale. Bear witness to the beauty of your creation. Inhale, sip in again through the nose. Breathing in certainty of truth. Part the lips, exhale. Smile at the magnificence of your creation. This conversation today has been a monumental shift in the consciousness and the narratives that have held up false motherhood for so long. You being here is a powerful and so crucial piece of the puzzle in shifting into the next evolution of motherhood. I see you, I feel you, and I am so proud of you. I am deeply, deeply honored to be here in this space, to be in this journey of motherhood with you. Until next time, beautiful mama, love, light, and pure creative power. Thank you so much for joining me inside this episode today, for your willingness to be in this conversation, share in the vibe, the wisdom, and the connection with me. This vibe is now yours to take with you. So take one more deep breath with me, mama, and breathe this in before you step forward with the rest of your day. Pause what you're doing. Be still. Close your eyes. One hand on your heart. One hand on your belly. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Feel what you feel. Honor it. And love on yourself like crazy for being open to this moment right here, right now. If this episode resonated with you, made you feel something undeniable, I encourage you to share it and spread the love. And please tag me so that I can connect with you and indulge in the vibe with you. And so that together we can get this podcast into the hands of more mamas who could use a little naked mama in their life. Remember to subscribe so you can stay connected. And if you're looking for love and support between episodes, follow me on Instagram at @TheRealAngelRockwell. If you're feeling pulled for more, join the Naked Mama private Facebook community where deep levels of magic await. Lastly, always feel free to connect with me directly. I adore voice messages, just FYI. If you choose to pop into my inbox, I guarantee I'll be all up in your inbox in the best way. I will see you here again next week for another transformative episode. Until then, sending love and light to you, beautiful mama.